Right, morning, day 3. So we saw the midsummer in till about 1 o'clock this morning, drinking copious amounts of alcohol and eating blueberry pancakes. And I didn't wake up till about 7:30. It's now about 9:30, I think it is now. So I've got a mouth like Gandhi's flip-flop, and my head's banging like a sledgehammer. So we didn't really plan it very well, really, last night, because we've got quite a big walk to do today. So we've probably got a paddle that's going to be about 500 meters to a K over yonder, and then a 2K walk to the next lake. So yeah, not really planned very well at all, but I'm going to try and cure this headache with a swim in this.
Just sun on my face, flowers grow through the cracks in the pavement. Fresh kicks and my favorite jeans, stepping out, living loud and free. Walk around like a brand new melody. Hear me when I'm singing that oh, 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 oh. And it keeps getting better, it only gets better. Keeps getting better. It only gets better.
From the other lake there, yeah.
If you go over, it's a very long. It's not a long way, but it's about 5.
Well, that weren't too bad. That weren't too far at all. But I'm so glad we're here, because this headwind we've got now is not very nice. Now it's a case of getting out and packing everything away for land travel. So where we are now, this is like a self-ferry crossing. So on each side of the lake you've got these little tiny rowing boats. You've got one on one side and then one on another, and I think there's 3 boats actually, the way they work it, so that you cross, but you always have to make sure there's a boat on each side of the lake, so that you don't want to get here to want to use the ferry and there's no boat here. So we're going to get out, get ourselves all set up for a bit of land-based travel with a hangover. Yeah, that's the one. Right, and so we start. It feels heavier than what it was. That fella that we met on the water said this was all downhill. Doesn't look like it to me. Beautiful day though. A bit too warm to be doing this. You know, you always want nice days like this instead of pissing down rain. But when you're carrying this amount of weight for 5K, you don't want it too warm. So it'll be a case of eat on the go, I think. A bag of jerky. Oh, this is lovely. Look at this. Right, so just take 5 minutes. We're not too far away now, I don't think, anyway. It's nice to be sat here in this breeze, deep in this bit of this forest. It's absolutely gorgeous. The blueberries are not too far away, so there's some in flower there, and I did see some with some berries on somewhere. But the whole forest is just littered, millions upon millions of them. You can just see the lake through the trees. Not used to the terrain. Coming from Suffolk, the land of flat, the tallest thing we've got is the stairs in Wetherspoons. But not far to go. I seem to have got used to it now. What I could do with, I reckon if I dropped, yeah, to 10 kilos would definitely have to come off this to make this feel comfortable. But how to do it, answers on a postcard please. That looks lovely. Right, need to do a bit of off-piste now, which I'm not looking forward to with this. On the back as the path leads north, and we just spotted a lovely little campsite. Yeah, Matt seems to have found a way, but it's just going to be yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just got to take your time due to ankle breakers. Right, we are on the lake shore. So, bit of a change of plan. It's 3:20 now, and we're both absolutely knackered. So, Matt's just discovered this little fireplace on the side of this lake. So, we're going to stop here for the night. The great thing is, there's no plan, there's no rush, so we can do what the hell we like. Apart from catch fish, unfortunately. Right, so tent's all set up. I've had to use my, there's tons and tons of mozzies here, tons. I've had to use my paddles as the main poles because I couldn't get the continuous ridgeline between two trees there. But absolute cracking view, absolute brilliant. But I'm going to have a little nanny nap, so I shall catch you later. Right then, so just had my nanny nap. I say nap, it's probably about a couple of hours. It's now about 6:30. Bit of a wind, as you can hear, just coming across the lake here. So we've got it on shore. It's an absolute beautiful lake where we are. I don't know whether you can make it out, but there's an island just in the middle. I think that's probably going to want some exploring at some stage tomorrow. But yeah, so bit of a gruesome walk in. So that was about a 6k trek that we had from what the put out on the other lake there, and coming down that mountain down the bit there, that was a bit silly with all of that weight really on the back, but there was no other way to get down to the lake so we could get this camp spot. Right then, so we're going to get the fishing rods out, and hopefully I'm going to put a fish on the bank today, but you know how my luck is. But hopefully, if not, Matt will catch one, hopefully, that's big enough to eat, and we can cook that up. But I am pretty hungry, and I do fancy some fish, fried food, some carb. So the rod I'm using today is a Rigged and Ready X5 Adventure, and it is a perfect choice for something like this because it packs up to something as tiny as this, and that is obviously a fixed ball reel and a fly fishing reel as well. So there's 4 different tips to this rod, so it's perfect for something like this where you're thinking you might be doing some fly fishing, some lure fishing, some bait fishing. I'll stick a video to a review video of that up the top there as well, and also I'll just stick a link to a video I produced a couple of weeks ago showing all the gear that I'm using on this trip, as in fishing gear. So I'll stick that up the top there for you now to have a look at. So I'm going to start off with drop shot, I think, today, and we'll see how that goes, and then if not, we'll head over to a bigger spinner or something.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, lovely old job. Fish for tea. Matty's just hooked a nice sort of 2-3 pound pike on a little salmo lure. So I think enough of the pansy drop shot fishing, and I'm going to have a bash with one of those. I can't blank today, can I, as well as yesterday. He's nailing it with a fish compared to me. So yeah, pike goujons for tea later on. Right, I'm going to swap some gear over and have a go with a lure, I think. Oh!
Is that you?
Yeah, he went for it straight away. Missed it though. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm in. Lovely old job. It's bigger than what I thought, actually. Yeah, it's a little jack. Yeah, little one. Where are you going? They like those little lures, what, don't they?
They do, don't they?
Tail walk. Come on. Well, he's away anyway. We got one, that's the main thing. Only a little jack, but it's a fish. Glad at least we've got a fish in the net. Brilliant. Right, so while Matt's finishing off skinning that fish, he's done a tremendous job with that as well. I'm going to make up some mix so we can make some fish goujons. So first of all, I've got a bag here of dried egg. I use it fairly often, should I say, in stuff like this. It just saves obviously carrying bloody eggs on some trip like this, but a couple of spoons of this and about 50 ml of water will make up the equivalent of 2 eggs. So we'll just make some of that up, and then we'll get some breadcrumb ready as well. We've also got copious amounts of salt, because sweetwater fish or freshwater fish, it's always best, I think, to sort of double salt the fish. So put as double the amount of salt on the fish as what you would do with a sea fish. And then we've got a bag of good old faithful Old Bay spice. We're going to make up the breadcrumb mix now. So I've got one of these little Light My Fire meal kits. These are absolutely fantastic, these are. So you can use the lid as a plate there, and then you've got 2 little tubs inside. Obviously that's the one that we've got the egg in that we've just done, and then you've got this longer tub, and then you've also got a chopping board and a strainer inside of it, and then of course you've got a bowl as well. So we're going to use this little tub here to make up our batter mix. So what we're going to do, we've got some flour, just some plain flour. So we're going to put a bit of that inside, probably about 1/3, and then we've got some breadcrumbs, then we've got some salt, so we'll just put a little bit of salt inside of it. Good old fashioned Old Bay spice, a bit too much, never mind, and then we'll just stick the lid on, give it a shake. And then we'll just salt that fish. Right, so we're all good. So just in the bowl portion of that little eating pack there, we'll stick in the breadcrumbs. And then the egg goes in this one here. Hasn't come out too bad actually, that. Let's get these done. Right, there we go. I'll bloody go wash my hands now. All done. Smells really good. Oh, that was a bit.
Smells edible.
Right done. There we are.
Thank you very much, mate.
Right, well there we are. Fantastic wilderness feast this evening. So some potatoes, which are really good. And let's try the fish. That is divine.
So good.
That is so good. You couldn't if you put that in front of someone,
Yeah.
they wouldn't tell that was a sweetwater fish.
No.
Right, well, all fed, absolutely gorgeous. So underrated sweetwater fishes. I really do recommend it. And before any of you lot say in the UK, you can actually legally take fish from the rivers in the UK. If you go onto the DEFRA website, you can see what your catch limits are. It's just that we're not used to eating sweetwater fish in the UK. Right, I'm going to get all my clothes off, go and have a wash because I absolutely stink. And then it's going to be time to hit the hay. It's about 9:30 now. And it's time for some sleep, I think. So we'll catch you in the morning.